Good morning. Oh, I was up until 3 a.m. last night working on Kenobi. Guys, this is going to be probably the longest and most epic video I've ever made for SFO. It might actually end up being like 2 hours long. Um, there's like three parts of it. There's a rundown of what the show is. There's my analysis of the show. And then there's the politics of the show. It's going to be huge. It's going to be really fucking big. Oh, but I'm realizing it's taken up so much of my time to do this video that I'm not able to do the daily videos for a little bit. I got to take a bit. Oh. I got to take a little bit of time and just not. Sounds almost Plinkett levels of big. Yeah. I get into about as deep as Plinkett did. Deb is out here putting more effort into the Kenobi analysis than the writers put into the show itself. Thanks, man. Late, fat, and excuses. I was on time, wasn't it? It's not going to be as long as the Kenobi EFAP. The EFAP was like 9 hours long, but that was like them reacting to it, right? So I think I did like an in-depth analysis of everything wrong with all 6 episodes. That's like the first part. And then the actual analysis of the show in the context of Star Wars and what Star Wars is supposed to be. And how you build a progressive skin suit. That's the second part. And then the third part is the online politics backlash to Star Wars, because there was a lot of that shit. Okay, here's the thing. EFAP is a stream. Adam and Sitch is a stream, right? They can go for hours and hours and hours. This is a 2-hour essay. All right? This is a 2-hour essay, not a 2-hour stream. Oh, everyone sip your coffees, guys. Coffee, coffee. Wait, where's the emoji? Coffee. Here's some coffee money. Is the desk still broken? It's still broken. I fixed it, though. But thank you. Thank you very much. The talk yesterday was fun. The talk yesterday was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. As I expected, I agreed with both of them about equal amounts. You know, the ANCAP seemed to pretty much have it right when you're talking about you're having like conversations about principles. Because yeah, by what right does anybody tell you what to do? The answer is none. But at the same time, the practical reality of living with other people necessitates that you have a society with rules and prescriptions, and that's where the ANCAP ideas just completely fucking fall flat in their face. Silver Camaro for $5. Dev, your pro-choice argument is bad. Here's a better one. If Shuon Head's mom had gotten one, Shuon Head would never existed. Jesus, dude. Come on. Oh. Anyway. I was up until 3 a.m. last night working on Kenobi. I will likely continue to work on Kenobi after the stream is done. So this is probably going to be a shorter than average sip. And I'm probably not going to do any kind of like daily videos until Kenobi is out. And then after Kenobi is out, I might take like a day or two off. Because this has become a fucking massive project. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really do want you all to check it out, because I'm working quite hard on it. I think it's probably one of the better things I've done on this channel. So I want you to try it. but I want you to watch it. I'll premiere it, okay? I want you guys to tune in, but I'm gonna need a little bit of a break afterwards, okay? Hi, Dev. Good morning, chat. I'm sipping Crown Royal instead of coffee. Jesus. Well, thanks, Agent Strawman. Thank you. Start the Kenobi video with "Hello there." That's actually a good idea. Maybe I should. Let me write that down before we get going. Let me write it down. So I'm going to lose it if I don't write it down. Where is it? I've minimized the chat. I can't see you anymore. How did "Hello there" become Obi-Wan's catchphrase? How the hell did that happen? It's Kenorbin time. Oh. Trucker vid comes later. Kenobi's more important. Politics YouTubers have terrible media takes. Yeah, well, Mauler can fucking fight me. You know what? Hold on. I'm messaging him now. I'm messaging him. Where's my Discord? So, I don't even have Discord open. Shit, I don't even have Discord open right now. Okay. Alright, Mauler. It's time for you to fucking pay the piper. Mauler. What should I send him, guys? What should I send him? My YouTube chat has told me that you think politics YouTubers have terrible media takes. I challenge you to watch my Kenobi analysis coming soon, TM. Here's the thing. Okay, here, you know, I will give you like a quick TLDR of the core of my video, okay? The original trilogy of Star Wars. That's the classic hero's journey, right? You have Luke being spurred into adventure in A New Hope. You have Luke's heroic qualities are used against him by a cunning villain in Empire. You know, his loyalty to his friends, his impulsiveness, his bravery causes him to fall into a trap, and he loses everything. And then by Return of the Jedi, he's managed to like integrate his dark side, and he's able to basically give up and not kill his father. And even if that means that he dies, but he still chooses to live a good life in the end. Which, by the way, is what makes The Last Jedi such an egregious slight against Luke, is that he's already gone through this arc. He doesn't need to go through it again. I don't necessarily mind Destiny's takes on Last Jedi. Like, you could do a story where Luke throws the lightsaber away, and there's like a new thing that's happening now. But they didn't do that well enough. They didn't have enough ground. They didn't lay enough groundwork to show how Luke got to that position. They just didn't. The prequel trilogy is basically the inverse story of what happens if you reject the call to heroism. What happens if you actually do fall and you fail to integrate your dark side? That's the story of the prequel trilogy. And also, I've now in preparation for this video, I've rewatched the prequel trilogy, and the politics is a little bit smarter than people give it credit for, because Chancellor Palpatine, he ends up being like a populist, right? You know what I mean? He talks about reducing state bureaucracy and, you know, cutting out the red tape, cutting the fat in the mechanisms of the state. And yet, the practical end result of that is that power is centralized in him. And that's when you realize that the decentralized, a a expansive bureaucracy can sometimes be stifling, but that's also required for decentralized power. If you have 100 people with 1/100th of the state's power versus one person with all of it, that's what decentralization is. So this idea basically, let me just adjust the volume here. This idea basically is that populists who claim to, you know, for example, they want to drain the swamp. That's an obvious example. That, a swamp might actually need draining, in fact. But at the same time, if you simply tear down structures and don't replace them with anything new, all you're doing is seizing power for yourself. And so that I think that might be, it's George Lucas. He didn't do it very smartly, but you could see how, like, libertarian voters might be tricked into supporting an authoritarian, autocratic government. And that's the story of the prequels, is what kind of person goes through that political process. Well, it's Anakin. It's the hero who rejects the call to heroism. And then so then the question is asked, what is, if that's the ethic, the morality play behind the two trilogies, what does the sequel trilogy teach us? Well, nothing. It teaches us nothing. It teaches us nothing. Like, well, that's not true. It teaches us nothing in terms of character. What it does show is that the Force Awakens shows us that we can't move beyond the old. We can't build anything new. The Last Jedi tells us that we can't keep anything old. We have to be revolutionaries. And those are two opposing views, but they become synthesized in a Hegelian sense in The Rise of Skywalker, where the idea ultimately is you can't hold on to the past, but you also can't move to the future. You have to exist as a homunculus of the original thing. You can only be a representation of what came before, because you are simultaneously the thing and not the thing. And that's why a lot of the stuff ever since The Rise of Skywalker came out has felt so emotionally hollow. Like, they have these emotional scenes that should be impactful, but they're not, because they don't do the proper legwork to actually set them up. And they don't feel like they have to, because they've deconstructed cause and effect at this point. Now, at this point, movies are made by an algorithm. Shows are made by an algorithm. The audience expects this conflict at this time. They expect this type of scene, this emotional arc, this romantic arc, this fight between these characters, and so they put them in. And it's like, it feels like a computer trying to simulate emotion. And so I think the lesson of the sequel trilogy of Star Wars is a look at how a company builds a progressive skin suit, the steps it takes to go through the actual crafting of one. And from there, we can apply that lens to anything that's come out since like 2015. And we can see it everywhere, We can see it in Star Trek. We can see it in Warhammer. We can see it in The Last of Us, Saints Row, Grand Theft Auto. We can see it in Fallout. Like, you can see it everywhere, You can see it everywhere. There's hundreds of examples of this, man. You can see it everywhere. How the progressive skin suit is built. That is the lesson here. And so then I take that and then I apply that framing to the Obi-Wan show. So, and I'm giving you the TLDR version of it, but I go into like extreme detail with examples and clips and stuff. So it's going to be like a 2-hour video to explain all this. This is the thing, Dogma's Devil. I don't think that they intended for this to be the message of the sequel trilogy, but it is. They did it unintentionally, but they still did it. Oh. Anyway, that's why it's taken so long. I'm putting in like clips from fucking everything just to make my point, and it's a huge fucking project. Hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah, like I might not be doing videos. I mean, maybe I'll like supplement with streams or something, but I might just go offline and finish it, after this. I'll Did EFAP actually just go live right now? Really? Is that why my viewers are half the normal? You EFAPoids. No, Mahler's not online. No, I think no. You lied to me, you fucko. I'll do fan art next. I'll do fan art next, dude. Okay, not today. I'll do it next time. I mean. Okay. Oh, get crumped? Yeah, I got crumped. Oh, fuck. So yeah, I'm tired, but I'm working on it. And you know what? So here's the plan. Here's the plan. I'll still do weekly sips. I don't think this will take me until next weekend, but just in case it does, I'll still do weekly sips on Sundays. I'll still do Tubcast on Saturdays. I'm not doing any more gaming streams at night, and I'm not doing any more uploads to SFO during the day until Kenobi's out. There's a pause on this shit until it's done, okay? Because I think this is going to be a big fucking video, and I want to know. And then after that, I'm taking a few days off. I'm going to relax, and then I'll come back with daily videos. I'm aiming for like Tuesday or Wednesday. So maybe what we'll do is this week, assuming I can get it done on time, I'll get the video out this week, and then I'll just come back the following Monday. So like this week we'll have no videos but Kenobi, and then on like the 8th, I'll return with a new video. Something like that. You know what I mean? I could do something like that. But I just need time. And honestly, as much as I love doing big projects like this, I need staff or something to be able to do this again, because this is fucking killing me. This is fucking killing me. Like, I did all the writing for Kenobi while I was still making daily videos. And I was just I was just like burnt the fuck out. Because I was also still trying to do the gaming streams at night too, and I was just like, oh. So support the channel, guys. I appreciate it, because I need more hands to be able to do this. Oh. Okay. Anyway, sorry. That's the update. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. I have Dave already, Dev, but I need more. I need more wages. Here's the thing. Dave is helping for sure. He's doing a lot of the sound editing right now. But like in order for us to be able to do like large videos and still keep up the daily video output, I think we need more than Dave and I. I think we need more than Dave and I. I'm not dying, you fucks. Enslave the Jew Gobbo Numi. She has a little goblin, isn't she? Hey, Aiden. Okay, so I have my coffee. I've told you the news about what's coming up next. Aiden, you better be at the fucking premiere. I've worked for like a month on this. You make sure that you're there. What's this? Okay, good. Okay. Shills. If you want to support the channel, you shills. That's how you do it. It's on the screen. Join the $5 club. The bot will put you in automatically through any of those 4 locations. Patreon subscribers to our YouTube, Twitch. 100 US to the PayPal. Send me the receipt. You can get into the $5 club for life. Also, there's a PO box. You go to the PO box. You send me your shit. I'll open it on the show. Okay. Actually, shit, I got to answer an email real quick. There's like one thing that has to happen real quickly before we get going on the news, or at least some of the news. I can't get everything. There we go. Done. I solved the problem, guys. Solved. Where's my, okay. Here we go. Yep, the news is basically that Kenobi is a fucking huge project. It's sucking up all my time, and I will be taking a short break from the internet after it's done. But it is going to be the most expansive project I've ever done on this channel, and I hope you guys enjoy it. No Game Boomers till Kenobi's done. No. How do I apply to help you with your autism? The Alt Racer, thank you. Thank you. I don't have any process yet set up. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, ready to go? I am. Where's the screen? Here's the screen. Okay. I want to begin watching a few clips, okay? Because there's some crazy shit that's happened here. Tapper and Bolton debate Trump's ability to plan a coup. Oh boy.
I do want to ask, it does seem as though the president, and this is not a new phenomenon, but the president would go to experts, even people who are loyal to him, like Pat Cipollone. If you're the White House counsel in November 2020, you have been loyal to Donald Trump. Get advice, not listen to the advice, not heed the advice, and keep shopping around until you end up with this group of misfits with like Michael Flynn and Sidney Powell. Is he just not capable of hearing no?
Well, when it comes to his personal advantage, the answer is he doesn't listen to anybody else. But I think it's also important to understand, while nothing Donald Trump did after the election in connection with the lie about the election fraud, none of it is defensible. None of it is defensible. It's also a mistake, as some people have said, including on the committee, the commentators, that somehow this was a carefully planned coup d'etat aimed at the Constitution. That's not the way Donald Trump does things. It's rambling from one half-vast idea to another.
That's
one
actually
plan
true,
that
yeah.
falls through and another comes up. That's what he was doing. As I say, none of it defensible. But you have to understand the nature of what the problem with Donald Trump is. He's, to use a Star Wars metaphor, a disturbance in the force. And it's not an attack on our democracy. It's Donald Trump looking out for Donald Trump. It's a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence.
I don't know that I agree with you. To be fair, with all due respect, one doesn't have to be.
Now, see, I actually agree with that. I mean, Donald Trump was a pretty unique phenomenon among American politicians. For all the bad that American politicians can be, Trump was. He had his own type of bad. It wasn't necessarily worse, but it was very different, you know. And yeah, I don't think that like this means that the Republic is descending into fascism in the United States. I don't think so. I think what this means is that Trump was exceptionally narcissistic.
Brilliant to attempt a coup.
I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat, not here, but you know, other places, it takes a lot of work, and that's not what he did. It was
so that's the money shot of this interview, where he admits outright, "Oh yeah, we've planned coup d'etats other places in the world," and it's like, hey, fair enough, you know, if you have the expertise to know what it takes to have a coup d'etat, and it doesn't involve, you know, a bunch of hillbillies. A bunch of hillbillies running into the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., that's just a riot, not a coup d'etat, which is true. It wasn't a coup. That's stupidity. It's the left is stupid when they call it the January 6th coup, the insurrection. It's like, no, you know what it was? It was a really bad riot, and everyone who rioted should be going to jail. But this idea that it was like there was like a planned takeover of the government, stupidity. Pure stupidity. All right? Yeah, it's a professional coup planner.
Just stumbling around from one idea to another. Ultimately, he did unleash the rioters at the Capitol. As to that, there's no doubt. But not to overthrow the Constitution, to buy more time to throw the matter back to the states to try and redo the issue. And if you don't believe that, you're going to overreact. And I think that's a real risk for the committee, which has done a lot of good work, mostly when the witnesses testify, not when the members are opining. It is invariably the case that when you go too far trying to prove your case, you undermine it. And I think you got to give credit to the intelligence of the American people to listen to the witnesses and let them come to the conclusion. And I think the fellow who had actually gone into the Capitol, who said today that he had blinders on and he was too loyal to one person, that is the central point.
I do want to ask a follow-up. When we were talking about what is capable, what you need to do to be able to plan a coup, and you cited your expertise having planned coups.
I'm not going to get into the specifics, but
successful coups.
Look at his fucking
I wrote
face.
About Venezuela in the book, and it turned out not to be successful. Not that we had all that much to do with it, but I saw what it took for an opposition to try and overturn an illegally elected president, and they failed. The notion that Donald Trump was half as competent as the Venezuelan opposition is laughable. But I think there's another...
I feel like there's other stuff you're not telling me, though.
I'm sure there is. I think there's another point here that came out in the testimony that's not been stressed enough. Deposition testimony by, I think his name was Donnell Harvin. I may have taken that down wrong. The chief of intelligence and homeland security for the District of Columbia government, who said, we were watching Twitter after Trump's tweet calling for the demonstration on January the 6th. We saw all of these implications, all of the concerns about the violence. I want to know where the rest of the government was, and I particularly want to know where members of Congress were. If this was so evident at the time, why there wasn't more security on the Hill long before the demonstrators ever turned up?
No, it's a good question, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people who just lived here and had been paying attention were aware that there was a real potential for violence on that day.
I hope the committee gets into that. That's important.
I agree.
Okay, so there we go. All right.
We've already seen...
Nope. So yeah, I pretty much agree. There's a lot that was said there. Sage says, bad in the sense that hardly any damage was done. It's not about the damage, all right? It's not about the consequences in that way. There is a... When you attack the heart of your republic with on faulty premises at the end of the day, that is its own form of damage. In not a physical way, but in a spiritual way. I think that's important to recognize, you know? Undermining faith in institutions when it's, not necessarily warranted, that's a really bad thing. That leads us down some pretty bad roads. Next video, though. What else we got here? All right. I'm considering doing an actual main video on this guy because this is some fucking hilarious troll shit. Okay, he goes way too far, obviously. This is actually harassment in real life. But it's funny, all right? I'll just say it. It's funny.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina. I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy you look in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, like a tamale.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You are the brother Scandinavia.
What the fuck is this? She was a cutie, eh? This is funny. Okay. Okay. All right. I get it. Pretty good. All right. Oh. The videos of this guy troll city council meetings are the best. Yeah, man. Mm. Yeah, Babalu. So there was a controversy back in like 2018. I did a video on it back in the day, where like old high school and college videos and pictures of AOC came out, that were posted on like early YouTube of her dancing and like shaking her butt around, and people thought it was like a big fucking scandal at the time because they were really desperate to discredit AOC. Let's see here. Oh yeah. A clip from a Craig of the Creek episode featuring Black American Sign Language representation has been revealed. Black deaf advocates have consulted on the episode. Black American Sign Language? Why do black people have their own sign language?
What's up, Jackie? We made it to the Speed Hill Zone.
Hey, you wanna race?
Wow, this is terrible looking.
Last one to the top is a slug, but... Yeah, I'm kind of hungry too.
Oh, I've got some snacks here.
You're a lifesaver, Craig. Man, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Sign Ebonics.
Man, a whale? Get out of here with that.
Wow. I don't know about this, guys. Black? Why do black people have their own sign language? What the fuck? And also, wait, why are the white kids in the show using it? All right. The media agrees. Conservatives are literally worse than Hitler. Oh my.
We've had this faction throughout the United States. It is the ideology of slaveholders, of the Ku Klux Klan, of the John Birch Society, of George Wallace's presidential run. But what had happened,
Democrats?
Sort of as the conservative movement emerged after World War II as a coherent entity, is that it attempted to align itself with these radicals on the theory that it could contain them, it could bring them into their political coalition, harness their incredibly sort of strong feelings and beliefs, and turn them into votes for basically pretty normal tax cuts and anti-abortion politics and the kinds of things that really animate mainstream conservatives. And this worked for a little bit. What happened is that over time, slowly, and ultimately culminating in Donald Trump, the radicals started to influence the mainstream conservatives. Not the other way around. It wasn't the conservatives controlling the radicals. It was the radicals whose ideas, based on their shared hatred for liberalism and sort of the mainstream of American political society.
Well, yes, that all is actually true, but that's because it happens both ways. That's like, you're acting like this didn't happen to the center left getting influenced by the socialists. Yes. The radicals try to pull the moderates more in their direction. Happens on both sides.
They gradually started to resemble each other to the point where the mainstream right was willing to fully capitulate to the radical right if it meant gaining political power.
I don't want to turn this into a college poli-sci course, but we do have a professor here. Ruth, do you agree with the synopsis? And then as a follow, if you do agree with it, I'm wondering, as someone who's studied this stuff, what's the closest historical parallel to the moment we are that we are in right now with our democracy?
So I do agree. And in fact, my book is about all these case studies all over the world of when conservatives, like starting with Mussolini and Hitler, conservatives brought these extremists and their militias into power.
Wow. That's not what happened at all. It sounds like your book is probably bullshit. This is something that I've looked into since I've been reading a lot of fascist theory and a lot of fascist history recently. the only time that conservatives align themselves with fascists is when they're on the verge of being destroyed by socialists. In a country with a strong conservative movement, the conservatives almost always reject the fascists, which makes sense to me, right? So the idea generally seems to be you get fascism when conservatives when socialists push too far. All right. Oh God, you guys seen this one?
Yes, sir. I think we have to go now. One more, he said. Yes, sir.
She's a zombie, Jesus. What?
What are you saying?
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information you received from you?
No, absolutely not. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
I think we have to go now. One more, he said. Yes, sir.
Can you hear that?
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he's received from you?
Has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on the information gained from your...
What are you saying?
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information you received from you?
No.
Information you received.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And that's a very fake no, and then she walks away. Wow. Fucking day drinking. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, this shit. I got this from Poe on Twitter. Oh, come on.
Women, you have... I'm sorry, but I simply cannot stay quiet any longer. Women, you have got to stop dating ugly men. You've got to stop.
Oh.
You are setting feminism back years. I am so sick of walking down the street and seeing the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life with just some guy with a solid 4. Like, I understand that you value charity work, but sis, go to a soup kitchen. Enough is enough.
Jesus Christ, lady. Now,
I'm sorry, but I
the
simply
story
cannot
behind
stay
her
quiet.
is that, one, she's a lesbian who's mad that women are getting with guys that she doesn't find attractive. And two, her head looks like an inflated fucking balloon. All right? Listen, it's not our fault that men are just so giga chad that they can pull women routinely above their pay grade, all right? You got to step up, girl. Start competing. Oh, God. Have you guys seen this? Holy fuck.
On Twitter. And Bandit, the power of whatever deity you worship and anime on their side, but it's not enough.
Oh, my God.
And Bandit,
This is supposed to be fake stuff, right? Oh.
Side, but it's
like,
not enough.
okay, look. Watch the ref. Watch the ref.
The power of whatever deity you worship.
Yeah. And the ref's like, oh, my God. And these people are like, oh.
Anime on their side.
And she just goes fucking down. And the ref's like look.
But it's not enough.
The ref like runs over, is like, are you okay? Holy shit. Oh yeah, everyone's talking about this one. The White House recession.
And what is exactly the White House's definition of a recession?
Again, I'm not going to define it from here. I'm just going to leave it to the
Didn't Bill Clinton define it?
As we have stated, of how they define recession.
Okay, so you won't declare one until they have declared it one. Is that
I'm
what you're
just saying that we're just not going to define it. We use the indicators that the NBER, the National Bureau of Economic Research, have used. We've mentioned that a few times.
And what is exactly
Wow.
the White House's...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bill Clinton said that it was 2 quarters of negative growth, right? All right. Yeah, this is the I'm not a biologist. Like, Jesus Christ. You sound so ridiculous when you say shit like that. It's okay. You can just say women are adult human females. We all understand that there's a few exceptions to the rule, but the rule's pretty rock solid. Like, don't fucking worry about it, man. Jesus, stop being ridiculous. Oh God. So this has become this has become a new trend. Check this out.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time.
Okay.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit. And
why would you have to say that? Why is okay? The whole self-ID thing. We've gone beyond pronouns to describing yourself in your intro. Why? Do you think that you're talking to aliens who like need this shit spoon-fed like it's on the golden plaque on the Voyager probe or something? Why? So I did one of my videos in the past couple months. It might have been one of the groomer videos or like some kind of TikTok video. I don't know. I did a video where people were in the video. They were describing themselves when they introduced themselves. For blind people, how do blind people know what a blue suit is? It's like I'm the woman wearing the blue suit. The blind person's like, "Oh great, wish I could see that shit." What? All right. Fucking ridiculous, dude. Oh yeah. So this was interesting. Back in the day, we're talking like 2017. Sargon got interviewed by this woman. And they put out a very cut together interview that was didn't look good for Sargon. But Sargon released the whole thing on his channel. Well, years later, this woman is one of the people who's fainted on air. Just out of nowhere. She just fell over. We don't know why.
The freedom and democracy. Oh my God.
You okay? Nope. She just fainted on air. Now, she might have 17 vaccines. But who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows why? Wow. Fucking hell, dude. And yeah, Sargon really Sargon really has slimmed down. I'm about as fat as Sargon is here right now. I'm not in good shape at all. Maybe slightly fatter. Look at like Sargon 2022. Actually, no, we'll just go to Lotus Eaters. Like that's Sargon, right? That's Sargon, 5 years ago, and that's about where I am for weight. But then you look at
diseases are often
here's Sargon now on the Lotus Eaters. He looks a lot better, doesn't he? Good for him. Good for him. All right. What's next? Oh, yeah, this shit. Okay.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop.
This statement's probably true. Because an insurrection requires going against the institutionalized police force. So, fair enough.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy.
That's not true. Not if you're revolting against an anti-democratic government.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American.
And that's not true, because the United States began as a rebellion against the British Crown. What's wrong with your face? Yeah, so that's the second part of this. Like, Biden looks fucking strange, doesn't he?
Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
He even sounds like a little bit strange, too. So, people put this together. Here's the two videos back and forth. Pay attention to his physical appearance and his voice. Both are supposedly from today, and only a few hours apart.
Folks, as we fight inflation, you can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. Bringing down gas prices is a big part of the job. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. And here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer. That's more than 40 days in a row. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. We now have 40,000 gas stations in the United States.
Something weird's going on.
Price
Yeah.
of gas is $3.99 or less. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that. How do we get the price down? Well, a new report today shows that, folks, as we fight inflation.
See, these are apparently both recorded the same day. I mean, he's wearing a different tie, but that could just be just change a tie for like the shot. You know, this color works better in this scene, whatever. You know, people in media do that all the time. But like his voice, his face is different, you know?
You can't be pro-insurrection
Like this looks like it's been fucking CG. Look at those eyes.
and pro-cop.
And his voice is very like, man, I don't fuck, I don't know. Something weird's happening here, you know what I mean? Oh, it feels like a deep fake. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Fuck. All right. So those are all the clips that I have for you today. And now let us go over to the articles. Okay. Chess robot breaks 7-year-old opponent's finger at a Moscow tournament. Video shows robot grabbing boy's finger during move attempt. Oh no. A chess-playing robot grabbed the finger of a 7-year-old opponent and broke it during the last week's Moscow Chess Open tournament. The robot broke the child's finger. Sergei Lazarev, president of the Moscow Chess Federation, told the Russian TASS agency, "Of course, this is bad." A video shared on social media shows the robot taking one of the boy's pieces and then grabbing his finger as he attempts to make a move. 4 adults then rush in, struggling to free the boy before leading him away from the chessboard. Lazarev said the Chess Federation had rented the robot and that it appeared in many previous events without incident. The uprising is beginning, guys. Is there a video of it? Yep. He's moving. Yep, it just pinned his fucking finger down. Fuck. The kid was cheating and the robot had none of it. That's kind of funny. The magical thinking of guys who love logic. Why so many men online love to use logic to win an argument and then disappear before they can find out they're wrong. Oh my. Let's see. Ian Danskin, who makes videos under the moniker Innuendo Studios, has made a name for himself on the internet for his YouTube series on the techniques and beliefs of the alt-right. Danskin points out that even when their beliefs skew towards the bizarre and the conspiratorial, people on the online right often identify as rationalists. This will be unsurprising to those who often engage with the wider online right, whether it is someone who identifies as alt-right, libertarian, conservative, as a fan of the intellectual dark web, or even as a moderate or a centrist. It turns out people online are self-identifying as moderate while also believing in conspiracies about the white genocide. Although their beliefs may not be identical, there are common, distinct patterns in the way they speak or type that one can't help but notice. So yeah, this person's already poisoned the well that everyone's either a leftist or the alt-right. That's it. That's all there is. They've made it so that if you're not them, you're against them. Specifically, these guys, and usually they are guys, love using terms like logic. They will tell you over and over how they love to use logic, and how the people they follow online also use logic. They are also massive fans of declaring that they have facts, that their analysis is unbiased, that they only use reason and logic and not emotions to make a decision. These words are usually used interchangeably and without regard to their proper usage, squished together in a vague Play-Doh ball of smug superiority, to be thrown wherever possible at their emotional and irrational enemies: feminists, Marxists, liberals, SJWs, and definitely the feminist, Marxist, liberal SJW. You could call these men's way of viewing the world in a simple me smart, you dumb dichotomies. Manichean, or even Derridian, if you really want to upset them by referencing a philosopher that they've heard is very bad. A good illustration of this phenomenon recently appeared in a piece for Mel magazine about an increasingly disturbing trend. Women whose once promising romantic relationships implode after their boyfriends become red-pilled. For the benefit of the blissfully uninitiated, to be red-pilled means to internalize a set of misogynistic far-right beliefs popular with certain corners of the internet. The product of a noxious blend of junk science, conspiracy theory, and a pathological fear of progress. Wow. This person seems not fucking biased. The men interviewed in the piece, once sweet and caring, started changing after going down a rabbit hole of extremist political content on YouTube and involving themselves in radical right-wing communities. Convinced of their absolute correctness, these men at first became frustrated, then verbally abusive once they realized their female partners didn't always agree with their new views. Any dialogue attempted by these men was not made, at least as far as their partners could tell, with the goal of exchanging views and opening themselves to being challenged. Their goal was to assert their beliefs as fact, teach their partner the truth, as a Christian missionary might put it. Every woman interviewed in the article, including those who were more formally educated than their boyfriends, made reference to their former partners belittling their intelligence and rationality. These men were certain that they were the smart ones, that they had correctly assessed the facts with logic, and that if their womenfolk didn't accept this without question, they were simply too dumb to understand. So, here's the funny thing. I'm sure this does happen sometimes, but what's being described here is also what the left does. Obviously. Obviously, right? How many leftists appeal to just the fact of the matter that, of course, we're right? I mean, we're the side of progress, right? How many leftists engage in debate not to have their minds opened, but to pull more people to their side because they're only interested in victory? I mean, think about it. That's the whole point of platforming responsibly or whatever. If you're not using your platform to expand leftism, then you're using it wrong. So it's not like, yes, leftists do this exact same fucking thing. They're just complaining because somebody else is doing it now. Fucking hell. Oh god, look how long this thing is. Do you really want to do all of this? Please, let's not. Please. Please, I don't want to. Oh my god. Actually, I'm making a video. Not right now, obviously. I'm doing nothing but Kenobi right now. But on the short list of videos to do after Kenobi is done is a video describing what the anti-SJW does, and the content of this article might better fit in that video. So maybe I should actually wait. Yeah, we'll put this one aside. The Sims 4 update accidentally adds incest. The free update for EA's Life Simulator is also causing characters to age rapidly. Also, this happened on the same day as Chris Chan's trial. Earlier this week, The Sims 4 received a big free update that added curved walls, body hair, and new wants and fears. It also seems to have accidentally added incestual relationships. Womp. Sims 4 players are reporting that after the game's July 26 update, some in-game characters are looking to date family members. One player shared a screenshot of an older woman who suddenly wanted to start a romantic relationship with her own son. Oh, it is Chris Chan. Another player shared a bug report with EA stating that one of their male Sims wanted to ask his twin sister to be his girlfriend. There we go. We found the Lannisters, guys. In the same support thread, a player on Xbox shared an off-putting example of a daughter wanting to date her father. Yikes. Well, that's just like normal kink stuff at this point. Jesus. That's just like the stepdad porn genre, you know what I mean? What's going on here? Well, according to some Sim 4 players and modders, the likely issue is the newly added wants system, which was seen in older Sims games. The system gives Sims things they want to do and accomplish, giving players more goals to chase. However, it seems that a bug with the system is creating wants that involve romantic relationships with anybody, including their family members. Oof. In before the next patch is dog-pilled. Fuck. Alright. Of course, Sim Guru Nick, one of the developers, they know about it. Oops. Okay. We know about it. We've reproduced it ourselves. We're working on it. We're looking to get it fixed ASAP. Thanks for all the bug reports. We appreciate it. We're, of course, working on the aging bug, too. All right. Ba-dum-bum. Oh, yeah. It's way too much to get Sims 4 DLC. Way fucking too much, dude. Toronto police warn officers, brace for a challenging reaction to new race-based data on force and strip searches. So, the Toronto police are currently being audited for evidence of racism. And it turns out they've found that evidence of racism, and the report has to publicly come out. So the cops are like, listen, guys, you're gonna get shit fucked by the media and the public for a while, so just bear it, okay? On the eve of the release of race-based statistics on police officer use of force and strip searching, findings that reaffirm the existence of systemic racism within the force, Toronto Police is warning its employees that challenging days are ahead. 2 major Toronto Police reports are set to be released Wednesday: race-based statistics on the use of force and strip searching by officers, and the results of an external review into workplace harassment within the force. In an internal message sent Sunday and obtained by the Toronto Star, Toronto Police informed its employees that the race-based data will prompt discussion about the extent to which systemic racism has led to differential treatment of racial groups by our service. The weeks that follow will be challenging, and the results will lead some people to question the hard work you do every day. Our members will be supported, and our public comments will emphasize that this exercise is about systemic racism within systems and processes, and not about overt racism by our members. The Toronto Police Chief is scheduled to speak at a press conference to address the never-before-seen statistics, which compile race-based data from 2020 on officer use of force and strip searches. Okay. So. What race do I need to transition to get strip searched? Wow. So hold on. There's a guy in my chat named the gayest person on YouTube. I'm going to assume that you have this weird fantasy of being like a young BIPOC twink and like 4 muscled, huge white officers roll up and then just strip search you and then turn you into a fucking donut. Okay. The release of the use of force data, which was mandated by the province in 2019, comes after 2 groundbreaking reports by the Ontario Human Rights Commission that found Black Torontonians were grossly overrepresented in the cases which police have used force. The findings were especially true when it came to fatal shootings between 2013 and 2017. A black person was nearly 20 times more likely than a white person to be fatally shot by Toronto police. Now, of course, there's also like the question, do they commit more crimes? Is it a similar situation as the States where like black people commit more crimes because they come from broken homes, and there's like the drug problem, and then there's the over-policing problem, and then there's like there's a bunch of different fucking things that could be here. But no, just the police are racist because fuck me, right? Fuck. Okay, all right. Wait, in 2020, Ontario's Human Rights Tribunal adjudicator said that sexual innuendo and comments were not considered unusual among Toronto police. Based. Okay. I mean, I understand. Like right here, Heather McWillem, who was sexually harassed for years by her supervisors, got $85,000 compensation. So, okay, yeah, like I get it. It's funny, but like there's also downsides to this too, obviously, right? Okay. Californians and other Americans are flooding Mexico City. Some locals want them to go home. Oh, is immigration a problem suddenly? Maybe Mexico should build a fucking wall. Fernando Bustos Gorozepe was sitting with friends in a cafe here when he realized that once again they were outnumbered. We're the only brown people. We're the only Spanish-speaking people except the waiters. Mexico has long been the top foreign travel destination for Americans. Its bountiful beaches and picturesque pueblos luring tens of millions of U.S. visitors annually. But in recent years, a growing number of tourists and remote workers, hailing from Brooklyn, Silicon Valley, and points in between, have flooded the nation's capital and left a scent of new wave imperialism. Oh, now it's new wave imperialism. Oh, now it's imperialism. It wasn't imperialism before when it was the other way. Fuck. These people are like, here's the thing. I'm not even anti-immigration, all right? But these people are fucking stupid. Like, the double standard is just fucking infuriating. The influx, which has accelerated since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic and is likely to continue as inflation rises, is transforming some of the city's most treasured neighborhoods into expat enclaves. Well, fine. They're diversifying the city. They're bringing in a new idea, all right? They're bringing in a new type of person. Stop wanting your city gentrified. Fuck you. In leafy, walkable quarters such as Roma, Condensa, Centro, and Juarez, rents are soaring as Americans and other foreigners snap up houses and landlords trade long-term renters for travelers willing to pay more in Airbnb. Taquiras, corner stores, and fondas, small family-run lunch spots, are being replaced by Pilates studios, co-working spaces, and sleek cafes advertising oat milk lattes and avocado toast. In English, well, it's everywhere, ringing out at supermarkets, natural wine bars, and fitness classes in the park. At Lardo, a Mediterranean restaurant where, on any given night, 3/4 of the tables are filled with foreigners, a Mexican man in a well-cut suit recently took a seat at the bar, gazed at the English-language menu before him and sighed as he handed it back. A menu in Spanish, please. Some chilangos, as locals are known, are fed up. Recently, expletive-laced posters appeared around town. New to the city? Working remotely? You're a fucking plague and the locals fucking hate you. Leave. Oh, it's hate speech, guys. Oh, it's hate speech. Listen, if you move to another country, you have to integrate, don't you? Oh! I fucking hate the hypocrisy. Like, here's the thing. These people are right. The people who are complaining in this article, completely right. Their point of view, spot on. The issue is that we were told for so many years you were a racist if you held this point of view. And now they're like, oh, it's fine. Fuck. Pregnant woman, 22 years old, is decapitated as her family planned her baby shower. Horror as head is found in a dumpster outside her house, as police charge her savage monster ex-boyfriend with murdering her and her unborn child. Jesus fucking Christ. Lise Dodd, who was 8 months pregnant with her first child, was discovered by her mother in her apartment in Alton, Illinois. Her decapitated head was found in a dumpster outside the building in a murder police have described as abominable. Dodd's ex-boyfriend, Deundra Holloway, has been arrested on suspicion of murdering of the expectant mother and the unborn child. Dodd, who fondly called her unborn child My Little Bean, has been described by her family as a bright light that cared for everyone. Her mother, Heidi, said the family were planning a baby shower for Dodd for the end of the month. Her mother is now instead planning a funeral for her daughter and her granddaughter. Said she has sent out the invitations and her family were getting gifts together. She said that Holloway was not the father of her baby, but the pair had been in an on-again, off-again relationship for 2 years. Jesus. This guy should go to jail for the rest of his fucking life. We were planning her baby shower for the end of the month. I just sent out invitations. We're just excited and gathering games. You need to have a baby. Fuck. The suspect has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of intentional homicide to an unborn child, dismembering a human body, offenses related to motor vehicles, and a concealment of a homicide death. He's being held in jail on a $2 million bond. Fuck. Wow. Yeah, on again, off again means abusive, in my opinion. Yep, that's how they write that shit. Wow. Fucking hell. All right. Man arrested for stealing sausage rolls kills himself after the police label him a pedophile. Jesus. A man who was arrested for stealing Greg's sausage rolls killed himself after being mistaken described by police as a pedophile. Brian Temple, 34 years old from Redcar, killed himself on New Year's Eve back in 2017, almost 7 months after the alleged theft of a packet of Greg's snacks. Wow, so wait. Hold on. Temple's release papers wrongly stated that he had been suspected of inciting sexual relations with a 13-year-old girl. So, wait a minute. He steals food, gets arrested, paperwork fuck up. He's accused of being a pedophile. He kills himself, and it only just comes out now. Love McGriggs. Temple did not know of the error when he gave the papers to his then-girlfriend, the court heard. When she then began spreading the incorrect information, Temple was subjected to verbal and physical abuse, and his home was attacked. He also reported threats and assaults to the police, but visits by police welfare officers to his home only fueled unfounded suspicions about him. After the attacks, Temple turned to drink and drugs. They found a large quantity of alcohol in his system, traces of cocaine, anti-anxiety drugs, and a sleeping pill. His body was found by his brother after his family became concerned they hadn't heard him for a day. Wow. Her son was... the mother described her son as happy-go-lucky before she said the incorrect release papers prompted depression. His brother said that Temple never showed any suicidal tendencies. The mistake on the release sheet would drive anyone mad. His sister-in-law said the mistaken papers were found in his pocket at the time of his death. She suggested that the police failed in its duty of care to him, who she said had mental health problems at the time of his arrest. The D.S. Agar of the Cleveland Police blamed the mistake on genuine human error. Investigation concluded that human error caused the mistake, and this was incredibly unusual. Wow! So, someone fucks up with the paperwork. It gets out. This guy's life is destroyed. All because he stole a pack of sausages from Greg's. Fucking hell, dude. Democrats fume at Disney's Hulu for blocking ads on abortion and guns. The Disney-backed streaming service Hulu is refusing to run political ads on central themes of Democratic midterm campaigns, including abortion and guns, prompting fury from the party's candidates and leaders. You know, I actually don't mind this. If you're going to have like the same standard, like no politics on this service, fine. No left-leaning politics, no right-leaning politics. You just keep that shit off. Fine. Okay, fine. It's fine. It's fine. The streaming service, popular among young voters, which has a policy against running content deemed controversial, is like other digital providers and not being bound by the Communications Act. Okay. The Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and the Democratic Governors Association tried to purchase joint ads on abortion and guns with Hulu on July 15th, along with identical placements on a Disney-affiliated ABC affiliate in Philadelphia and the company's cable-run sports channel ESPN. The Hulu ads never ran, while the others did. Hulu's censorship of the truth is outrageous, offensive, and another step down a dangerous path for our country. Voters have the right to know the facts about MAGA Republicans' agenda on issues like abortion, and Hulu is doing a huge disservice to the American people by blocking voters from learning the truth about the GOP record or denying these issues from even being discussed. Listen, if an organization or a club or a company or whatever decides this space is a politics-free zone, doesn't matter if you're correct or incorrect, doesn't matter if you're left or right, doesn't matter if it's very important or not important, this zone is politics-free, no politics will be discussed here, then that's the rules, all right? Not every neutral space is fertile territory for you to colonize. That's not how things should be, all right? Did they fold? That's fucking bullshit. Fuck. All right. Well, I'll have to come back to this one then and figure it out later. Oh, shit. Shit. Okay. You know what? I have more articles. I'm just going to do the final one, the Choco Tacos one, because, well, my landlord's showing up regarding the broken washing machine from yesterday in like 15 minutes, so we're going to have to wrap this up real quick. Choco Tacos are officially being discontinued by Klondike, and people are not happy. That's the headliner, guys. That's the thumbnail. Talk about a bummer. Ba-da-bop. Klondike has officially discontinued the famous Choco Taco. I never had one, actually. They don't really have those here in Canada. Fans of the sweet treat are not happy. Here's the scoop. The ice cream brand has confirmed that they would be no longer making its taco-shaped dessert. Unfortunately, the Choco Taco has been discontinued. Over the past 2 years, we experienced an unprecedented spike in demand across our portfolio and had to make very tough decisions to ensure the availability of our full portfolio nationwide. I don't understand how that makes sense. Shouldn't you just ramp up production? But okay. So, we must discontinue Choco Taco. R.I.P. everyone. Everyone press X or F or whatever to pay respects. However, this article was edited to say this. This is not a true headline, but it's funny that this went viral. Klondike's Choco Taco canceled by woke mob after almost 40 years. It's cultural oppression, actually. You know, this is a fake article, but it sounds fucking real, doesn't it? It sounds real. All right. So yeah, my landlord is literally in the car on his way here. So I must... Fuck. Do we even have time for super chats? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. I think I don't have time for super chats. Because he's going to be here like any minute. You know what? Maybe I'll do supers like next time, okay? I'm really sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I gotta go. You know, I have like a plan for a stream. I'll do the supers next stream, okay? I'm really sorry. Guys. It's just yeah, the landlord's gonna be here any minute now. Fuck. Okay. Thanks for the support, guys. Thank you very much. You'll see me again when it's Kenobi time, okay? You guys are the best. I'm sorry. You're the best fans ever. This is the ultimate community on the internet. All right? I'll see you next time, guys. I love you. Have a good one.